Welcome to today's video. I'm here in Dartmoor National Park. A very miserable Dartmoor National Park. It's raining, cloudy, just miserable. So I've come out today, I'm determined to get some photographs, but not out in this. I'm going to show you what I do on miserable days like this. We're going to head there right now. Let's go. Okay, here we are, Devon Wood, and I've got the River Plym flowing down through here. Now this is my kind of place I like to come on an overcast day, whereas up on Dartmoor it's just plain white miserable. It's raining, there's just no texture in the sky, in the clouds, it's just an overcast. On days like that, I like to come into the woods because it just adds to the mood, you know. Places like this, I find you really want that kind of atmosphere. I don't want bright beaming lights coming in. It's kind of a moody setting, especially with like the ancient trees that line the riverbanks there. And we've also got like a circular path that leads from the main car park up out of the valley here. And again, you get a lot of ancient trees up that way. We'll go there. But for the minute, I'm just exploring this area along the riverbank, getting some photographs, and yeah. And as well here, you're protected from the rain. There is a bit of rain coming through, but if you're up on Dartmoor now, you're going to get soaked. Whereas here, the tree canopy kind of protects you a little bit. So it just makes things a little bit easier to shoot, you know? So we're going to go and do some exploring and get some photographs. Okay. So when you come here to Devon, this is the first spot you'll probably come across. As you walk across this bridge, the main car park's just there. So this is one of the first scenes you'll come to, and this is the classic shot to get here. Great location, great shot to get, because having this bridge elevated over the river just gives you that great perspective. So yeah, but again, in autumn time, all these trees, late October, they turn orange. So it's another great time to come, just not only on overcast days, but throughout the seasons, throughout the year, come here and visit it. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my setup today. I've got a 14 to 30mm f4 lens on there, got my Z8, and I've just got a polarizer on. Now the polarizer is mainly one to control the lighting coming in here. It has that benefit, but it also gives me a helps the glare off the leaves. Because there is rain coming in, you do get that little bit of glare coming off the leaves. So the polarizer will help eliminate that. And because there's not much light actually coming into the forest, I mean, just with my polarizer on, it's giving me 1/3 of a second. I'm at f13, that gives me that nice depth of field. Got a nice bit of sharpness on that aperture, I find. I could go to f11 and put it to 1.6, 1/6 of a second, and that's just me experimenting there. Those are the kind of shutter speeds I like to use when I'm photographing water on rivers, because it will just give me 1/6 of a second, for instance. It will just give me a nice bit of texture in that water. Okay, so we've got the bridge down there in front of me. You can't actually get to the other side anymore because that's actually private land behind there. So you need to stick to this side of the river, really. But again, going back to overcast days, you know, because there's not much texture in the sky, I mean, it's just, look at it, it's just miserable, grey, overcast day. To counteract that, you can use, by coming into the woods again, you can use the canopies, the trees, to like fill your frame. So, because if I was out of here and I was shooting around Dartmoor, I'd just have a plain grey, miserable sky, not interesting at all. Here you can fill the frame by using the woodland. So it's just another good tip to use when conditions outside are not great, you know. But again, using that bridge is makes for an interesting subject. You can get a little bit closer down there, just on the edge, but here just makes quite a nice setting, you know. Such a great scene that with the woodland. See how calm it is as well. That's important. There's no wind, and that brings me on to my next top tip. When I was planning this trip, I wasn't concerned about the rain, the overcast skies, because I knew I was coming into the woodland. The main concern I had was the wind, because when you start getting high winds, all the trees here are moving frantically. And when you're in low light conditions like this and you're using shutter speeds around 1/6 to 1/3 of a second, then you're going to get movement in your image from the trees. So, and I like to experiment with different shutter speeds, as I said, with that texture in the water by using that sort of slow shutter speed. So when I'm exposing for that, at the same time, the trees are moving, and that will appear unsharp in your image, which is just a big no-no. You could do tricks in Photoshop where you can brush in, you can expose for the trees, and then you could expose for the water to get your shutter speed there, and then you could brush in that water into the image, your textured water shot into the image. But that's going to Photoshop, and if you're good on Photoshop, that's the one way to do it. But again, just to make it easier for yourself, check the wind. If it's really blowing a hoolie out there, as they say, it's going to make things a lot more difficult to photograph here. So again, if you're not interested in photographing slow shutter speeds of the water, then fast shutter speeds, higher ISOs, which ISOs are not the end of the world these days. And yeah, it's just finding that right balance. So this is one of the really great things about Jewelstone on overcast, kind of miserable days, is you've got the river going through down there, but when you come up along the path, you come up into this kind of like ancient woodland. And at the moment, as you've got some rain, a little bit of rain falling through the tree canopy, but it's also creating a nice mist around the woodland, which for me just makes the perfect conditions for woodland. When you get that bit of fog or mist coming through, it just gives it that kind of magical kind of atmosphere, you know. Some might find it a little bit spooky. God, check this out. This is a great example of this woodland up here on Jewelstone. The way these trees are growing, kind of wrapping themselves around the tree canopy, it's just amazing. And you wouldn't get this kind of feel on a bright sunny day. You need an overcast day, I think, or a bit of mist, low cloud, and a bit of rain just to add to the drama that's already gives you the kind of an environment around here. So it's again such a versatile place to come here at Jewelstone. This is at the top of the valley where Jewelstone and the River Plym go through down at the bottom there. So it's a little bit of a walk up the hill, but it's gentle, it's not really steep in any places. And again, it takes you along a nice path, which brings you along this woodland. And it's just a great place to come and capture different images of the woodland and let your imagination go wild with different compositions that you see, you know. These kind of environments give a really, they help you a lot, you know. It's easy to, I say easy, it's a bit easier to get a good photograph when you've got like these conditions, you know. A lot of people go and see images on Instagram and you're like, oh, that's really amazingly edited, but it's not really the edit, it's the conditions that make it, you know. And this is a great example of just amazing good photograph to capture around this woodland. Let's keep it moving. So it's got some history, this place. These old stones here used as a path. Again, another amazing tree there. Just this scene here makes for a really nice photograph, I think, with the path going up into the shot there. Really nice. Bit more mist around would make it even better though, I think. Okay, so we've had a good day down here at Jewelstone. I think we got some good photographs. The weather's been kind to us, despite it was an overcast, miserable day. It just goes to show, even on days like that, you can still come out here and get good photographs. You know, don't be too disheartened that the weather's rubbish, because let's be honest, here in England, and this year, especially in 2024, we've had some pretty bad conditions. So still get out there and use the woodlands to your advantage on miserable, moody days. Click and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to post all the pictures from today up now, and I'll see you on the next adventure.